So trends in the market and then positioning yourself to be able to have entries at the beginning of each and every trend will make you profitable. So I'm going to break down gold to you because there's a possibility of a new trend starting on gold, and that is the downtrend. The market has been on an uptrend for a while, and it looks like a downtrend is beginning to happen. But what I want you to understand here is that trends are so important across all human endeavors to a point that people have taken it upon themselves to invest in starting new trends. And this is not just good ones. Even people start bad trends and then they hope to benefit from there. Whether it is bad or good, as long as it's going to trend, people invest in starting them. If you open your internet right now, you will realize the most trending thing politically, whether somebody has been assassinated or the immediate political wars that is happening or some good thing that is happening. So those are trends. So the greatest inheritance that we get as humans are trends. We inherit trends from people just because we have seen them online or we've heard them. So in the same way, when you bring this concept into trading, you want to be able to understand how you can actually profit from starting trends. The issue is with most trends is that by the time it reaches you, the people who have started it or who were at the beginning of it tend to profit. But with trading, if you can be able to spot when a new trend is going to start, then you can position yourself with proper risk management and then profit. So I'm going to break down gold to you so that you can see how you can best profit from gold and then the trend. But this is the thing I want to show you. This was the tweet at 5 a.m. in the morning. That's when we put it out. I was like, gold is trying to start a downtrend. Remember, 5 a.m., that is just the Tokyo session starting. So gold is trying to start a downtrend. Trend inheritance has been made so certain that people are willing to invest in starting good or bad trends. People know that once they start a trend, it will eventually be inherited. So they invest in starting good ones or even bad ones. And then the most important thing is that for you to be able to profit from trends, you must begin to understand their peaks and their bottoms. So let's apply this on gold. Now, this is the current goal on the 4-hourly time frame. It is at an all-time highs. And why do we say it is at an all-time highs? This area here has been gold's all-time highs, which is around 3,500. But gold breaks it, goes to, now gold is at 3,600, around 3,600. And then from here, we just need to learn to observe market and how we can spot a possible new trend if it will be there. Remember, we have been in uptrend because the market is constantly breaking these highs to form a new high. But then now this is the last high we had. So if I'm to just mark this high, this is the high of last week. And then we've seen a scenario where the market goes, breaks this high here of last week, and then forms a new highs. And then from these new highs, you've seen a scenario where the market is actually failing to break these highs. Okay, so we've seen an area of the market failing to form further highs, and then we see the market coming down and then trying to pull back up, and then also failing to go further up. So the market is being resisted from going further up. And then from here, we see a strong price difference candle that breaks below the high of last week. So this candle here is very important. It's what we call a price difference candle. So this is usually an indication that the market is about to change. But remember, we have this price difference, and then we also have another price difference candle here that has broken this. So this candle here, a strong break here. Now, if you're not familiar with these concepts of price difference, all you have to do, come to Throne Trades on YouTube. I've explained it. The first video you will get, price difference, I've explained it there. So now, once we have gold here, so let me wrap these things. And I want to explain it to you how we can actually have possible entries. So you see gold as this was an area of resistance. Once it was broken, it becomes support. The market comes and breaks again. So this area now here is a very strong resistance area with this price difference here. Now the difference between these highs and then these new lows is here where price has broken from. So that means now what we could actually have as trading opportunity and possibly the beginning of a downtrend is if the market actually fails to further break this to the upside. If it fails to break this to the upside, then we can possibly have that opportunity to be able to look for trades. So what we want to see here is the failure to break, and then if you can have this pullback into this, and then in this reaction, that then we can definitely have trades around here. So the best place to look for trades is actually here. Okay. If this fails, then we can look for trades here. But for you to understand this, let me explain it to you how trend actually changes. So once the market is forming highs, and then all of a sudden the market comes and breaks this high, this one here. It is usually an indication that the market is possibly beginning to start a new trend. Now, the next test after this is if the market pulls back into this and then fails to come back to these highs and then comes down here, that means now we are having a change of trend from up to down. So the change of trend occurs when the market breaks the previous highs and then fails to return to the other all-time highs and then breaks this low. So once this happens, then we can begin to have a downtrend. So that is what we are possibly going to be seeing with gold here. However, there is a lot of information today, especially fundamentals. So you need to be careful once you get an entry here, you need to position yourself well and not just jump into it anyhow, because we have form C here, so you need to be careful. But this is how gold is. Now, these are the areas for looking for trading opportunities. If I'm to risk 1% here, then I know that if it plays out, I will first take some profits here until this level is also broken, then I can begin to target these other lows here. However, if it fails, and then I can also look for trading opportunities here on a double top formation. So this is how gold is, but surely gold is beginning to start a new trend. We just need to observe how that is going to play out with respect to the fundamentals that are coming up today. So let's see how gold plays out.